This is genuinely insane as the Toronto Maple Leafs break the Boston Bruins curse as they finally win a game in the regular season for the first time against the Bruins in over a year. We're going to break down the crazy game that saw Austin Matthews not play, but the Leafs still stand strong, win 4-0, an absolute crazy game on the back of the one and only Anthony Stolarz. We're going to break all that down on this stream. Welcome in, everybody. An absolutely electric one tonight for you all because Darius, one of the better games the Leafs have played in a very long time. They finally got things rocking without their best player. I'm a little bit impressed, and I will give credit to Darius. He did come out on the video today and at the end and he said the Leafs, this is a game where the Leafs are going to go out and absolutely curb stomp the Bruins. He didn't say those words, but I did. And they did. They won. It wasn't really that close throughout. They finally broke the power play curse. Max Pacioretty got 5 shots on goal. Just throw that out there. What a crazy game. What's up, Eric, Slim, Shane, Blake, Vader, Scorch, Jim, everybody. What a crazy night in general. What's up, Eric? And the Toronto Maple Leafs take care of business against the Boston Bruins ahead of what's going to be a very interesting week and weekend. Darius, they got the job done. Everything is okay for now, and they have a busy weekend ahead of them.
What a great game. And like you mentioned, right, a busy week coming up here with all Atlantic Division teams. And I think it was exactly 2 years to the day the last time the Maple Leafs beat the Boston Bruins in a regular season game. So lots to like tonight, so much to like, very little to not like. And we're going to get into all of it. But Stoli, the goalie, we got a goalie here in Toronto. He looks very, very good. A couple big saves tonight. And we're going to be talking about him when we talk about when we talk about our 3 stars. So that's going to be fun, but lots to like tonight. And I just want to say off the top too, I would like to apologize to Max Pacioretty. I was not familiar with your game. You play a very heavy style and I am loving it. This was a good game. I know the Bruins are kind of like spinning out of control right now. Yeah, this is a good game. This is a very good game. You had to match their intensity and they did that. So it was great.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game up and down. We'll obviously dive into the box score and do all of those things. But yeah, I mean, Anthony Stolarz stole the show tonight along with a couple other guys. And yeah, Jim, I agree. I mean, Bruba's system's paying off. He was not happy with a couple of penalties. The Leafs took a few penalties that they definitely should not have. Specifically, I'm calling out Matthew Nas a little bit here. But that being said, there's a lot to dive into. So welcome in and let's dive into the box score. So obviously, it's going to be it was an interesting game. And again, Steven Lorentz also got on the board I don't even know if he knew that the net was empty. He kind of just chucked it down there and it went in. We got Lorentz on the board. You got Morgan Riley on the board. You got, of course, Matthew Nyes, William Nylander, who is has a lot of goals this season. Yep. And again, in a game where you don't have a lot of your best goal scorer, who again might be a blessing in disguise that Matthews gets some time off, especially if he was dealing with an injury. But Darius, he with Matthews out, Matthew Nyes stepped up, William Nylander stepped up, and just a phenomenal game from almost everybody on the team once again. Specifically, of course, who we'll get into in a little bit here is Anthony Stolarz with a shutout. He's been unbelievable, and I don't see a reason to start Joseph Woll anytime soon, but I'll leave there.
Well, he's going to get in this weekend, that's for sure. I don't know against which team specifically because both Detroit and Montreal are not great. So I just, pick whoever, I guess, at this point. But he's going to get in this weekend, but Stolarz, man, he's the #1 goaltender. He looks good. There's no reason for him to slow down at this point. We still don't know if he can play like 40 games, 45 games, 50 games, but we're going to find out because keep riding him. He's been playing great, so there's no reason to give the net back to Joseph Woll unless he steals it back at this point. He made a couple saves tonight. Like the Bruins didn't have too many high danger scoring chances, but the ones they did, man, big saves.
Jim with the 20. Thank you so much, Jim. Past years, even in a win, we would be outshot badly. This year, we are even in shots or better, win or lose. They are getting it. Yeah, and even in the losses, they've outshot their opponents on a lot of them. The first game of the year against the Montreal Canadiens. You think back to the last time they lost against the Bruins, they also outshot them heftily. Sorry. So, Jim, thank you so much for the donation. Your support, again, is unbelievable. But I agree with you completely. It's a huge change in mindset, change in focus, and ultimately it's translating to what has been some very crucial and critical wins for this Toronto Maple Leafs team, and they desperately needed a win today. They got the point last game, which at least they got a point. Again, we want to see them beat teams like that while they're one of the best teams in the league, but it's a huge win, and it's a huge 2 points, and that's what matters against an Atlantic Division. In the Bruins, we're starting to climb a little bit. They were coming off of a win, so it's a big way to shut them down.
Yeah, the Bruins, they're down there in the bottom of not the conference, sorry, but the division right now. So obviously you want to make up points on a team like this and points on, I mean, the Leafs they need to get first in the division, right? That's what they're fighting for this year. So, or that's the goal at least. I don't know if they're going to finish there and they might regress a little bit. We've been talking about that through the summer and into the season, but that is the goal right now. And this was a big win to pick up and just to show like you won't be bullied or anything like that, right? And obviously I talked about it this morning, like you said, I wouldn't say I guaranteed a win, but I was like, this is exactly the type of game that they're going to win. You can just sense it. It's just the way they are. I don't know why. It's a mental thing, but great effort from a lot of guys. We haven't mentioned Mitch Marner yet. I thought he had a great game. We've been hard on him. He had a fantastic game tonight. So we're going to be talking about him a lot tonight as well. But yeah, just a solid game tonight. A lot of compete, heavy play. They matched the Bruins' physicality when they were bringing it towards the Leafs. So lots to like tonight. I thought a lot of penalties tonight. They got to clean that up as well. Not your usual suspects like Benoit and guys like that, but Matthew Nyes probably don't take a penalty like that in the third period when you're only up by 2. And the Tanev one was kind of awkward. The Pacioretty one that was called back, I didn't think that was a penalty at all. So I'm glad they did call it back. But yeah, lots to like tonight. Love the physical play. Like Jim said, and thank you again, Jim, for your donation. But it seems like they're slowly getting it. This is why I say the 15 to 20 game thing. I think they're slowly getting it. There's glimpses of like, this is fantastic. And then when they put in a performance like they did tonight for the full 60 minutes, you're like, okay, this certainly does work. There was really no point in this game in the third period when they're up 2-0 that I feel like in previous years where I'm like, this is going to go away. The Bruins are going to come back. I didn't really feel that at all. Yeah, a lot of that is Stolarz. Absolutely. But a lot of it is the fact that they continue to forecheck and they're trying to score. They're continuing to push. Before they would just get hemmed in their zone. They would spend the entire period in their own zone, and they're not doing that anymore. So they're slowly learning. Slowly learning. It's going to take some time. We've been talking about it, but looks good. I'm excited. I'm pumped up that after a win like this, and you know what? They look good if they can string a couple wins here because they're playing. You know, it's Atlantic Division teams, but they're not great. They're really not great. They're bottom of the division. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's gonna be a fun week.
It was probably Marner's best game of the year, from top to bottom. Obviously, 2 assists, didn't get on the scoreboard. Yeah, hit the like button. Let's try to get to 30 likes. I know a lot of you guys are in here. Shout out to over 100 of you. We all like seeing numbers go up. We're at 12. Help us get to 30 daily use content. But one thing I want to touch on before we will, I know a lot of people in chat. We will get to the Ryan Reaves thing in a minute here. I want to bring up quickly the power play. We finally scored the first goal of the game. Morgan Riley. Goal on the power play. We're seeing the power play start to come together a little bit, which is something that was desperately needed. So it was good, and we'll get back into that in a second. But Ryan Reaves, there's a lot of people in the chat. Now, if you're in the chat right now, type yes or no. Have you been disappointed with Ryan Reaves' play this season? Yes, meaning you're disappointed. No, meaning he's been fine. You're not disappointed. Let us know in the chat if you've been disappointed with his play, if you think that he should, be on the way out. Because Darius, we obviously saw the Zadorov, scuffle, what we can call it, hit, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And then Ryan Reaves necessarily didn't, step up to the plate. And again, last game he was on the bench, he couldn't really do anything. What are your thoughts? I know you're a bigger Ryan Reaves fan than most here. What are your thoughts on his game today? Or because there's gonna be a lot of yeses, I think, about being disappointed.
So in the situation today, first of all, I want to say that Zadorov should be at least fine for what he did. The guy's down, Pacioretty's down on the ice, and he takes his head and smashes it into the ice. That you can't do that. So he should be at least fined, if not suspended for that. Just wanted to say that. But in terms of the situation, I think a lot of people are saying in that situation, Reaves has to fight. He has to earn his spot on the team. He has to fight there. If he fights there, he gets the instigator, and then the Leafs are, going 4-on-4, right? And that's kind of you got to pick your spots. So it's a dumb spot to do that. And in terms of his play all season, a lot of people hate Ryan Reaves and are down on him, and because he's bigger, he's slow, he's there to fight, stuff like that. But again, I'll keep saying it. I know what he's there for. He's the diffuser. This year so far, and a little bit last year, but I think the mentality has switched a little bit this year. Nobody's really running around on the Leafs, and I think part of that has to do with Reaves because you know who you're going to answer to, right? Like he even went up to Zadorov there and said, "Listen, buddy, like you got away with that, but you're not going to run around the rest of the game. Like that's just not going to happen." That's the type of stuff that he's there for. And some people think that's stupid, but it's a part of the game. It really is a part of the game. And nobody really ran around for the rest of the game, I believe, after that. And if they did, they would have had to answer to Ryan Reaves. And that, like, who wants to fight Ryan Reaves? He's gigantic and he's a really good fighter. So that's what he's there for. I think he has a purpose on this team, and he's going to finish his contract on the team. There's a reason he's on the team.
Yeah. But again, the counterpoint is what Shane is saying, but at the end of the day, I think that he stopped it from escalating further. I'm not a huge Ryan Reaves fan. I think they're probably better off playing other guys and most of the time. That being said, they were without, Austin Matthews tonight, and they've been kind of. But it has nothing to do with Austin Matthews being out. It has all to do with the fact that it's the Boston Bruins, and that's the reason that one of the main reasons he was out there. And again, it was just interesting. I wanted to bring that up. But I want to touch on the power play again. What did you see tonight, Darius, that was different, or you think the pucks are just starting to fall their way a little bit more? Again, we saw the Riley shot. It was great. We had a screen in front. That's what, at least we're getting, the entries were better. We were actually getting in to our power play, which is something that hasn't been happening the past, I don't know, however many games into last season, into the playoffs. So they were actually getting set up. They were able to get shots on goal, which turned into solid shots, and they translated into, I believe, 3 power play goals.
Yeah, and it's 3 power play goals on the night, which is crazy considering what's happened. I think they're 4 for 8 now in the last couple of games, which is a lot better than what they were to start the season, of course. Yeah. So we'll see if that continues. But you said it right there, putting pucks to the net. That's what changed tonight. And they were still doing a lot of the early power plays in this game where, again, we're the high umbrella. And I don't understand it because it doesn't work. I don't think you're going to score like that, especially against teams like Boston. But they finally figured it out and we're putting pucks to the net. Like, again, Marner didn't have a shot there. That's fine. Curl back, find something else. Gives it to Riley. You have a screen in front. That's why Nyes is there, and he scores, right? So that's fantastic. The second goal is Nylander just putting the puck to the net. Like, it's really as simple as that sometimes. Like, just put it there and see what happens. That's what happened. And then again, the third one, you put the puck to the net, Nyes tips it in. He's standing right there in front. Nobody answered to him. So it was fantastic. I think it looked great tonight. And maybe it's a little bit of luck, sure, but I think they were putting pucks to the net, and I think that was the biggest difference because I've been yelling at my TV the last how many ever games, like, just shoot it, literally just shoot it. It doesn't have to be a high percentage shooting scoring chance. Just shoot it to the net, and then you'll create something. You'll create a rebound or something. They did that tonight, and I think that was the difference. But we'll see if it continues. They have to continue to score on the power play. Maybe not at this clip because tonight was pretty good, but it's got to be better than what it was. That's for sure. And this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, they need to continue to actually shoot the pucks in front of the net. Darius, did you get a haircut?
Nope.
No, I got the haircut,
Nope.
which is maybe. But yeah, Domi had 2 chances of toe drags. Beautiful. Domi should have probably had a goal tonight. A couple. He only had 2 shots, but a bit unfortunate.
Nice chances though.
There, the nice power play tip in front is going to lead him to scoring at least 30 this year, maybe 40.
100%.
Darius, again, he said, and I think both of us said before the season, there's a good chance where Matthew Nyes scores like 30 goals, and he is on pace for it. So it's interesting they scored 3 power play goals when Austin Matthews isn't on the thing. So maybe people, I'm getting, like we mentioned in our video this afternoon, they are more aggressive. That's what it comes down to. They were more aggressive without Austin Matthews, and that they need to play like that with Austin Matthews there. Marner had one of his best games. You had obviously people shooting the puck. Max Pacioretty had 4 shots on goal. So it's like, and you even had Steven Lorentz score. Granted, it was a bit of a silly one, but it still iced the game, and it was great. And Morgan Riley, for 3 points for him. You got a goal. Again, it's just everybody was playing well. And yeah, if you remember in the chat, let's spam up the Anthony Stolarz emo because it's time to talk about Anthony Stolarz. My take is aging better and better. Blake with the $6.99. Thank you so much, Blake. We should keep Matthews out. 3 goals for the power play and Boston got goalie. Nick was right, and everybody hit the like button. Go Leafs go. Thank you so much, Blake, for your continued support. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, I mean, I'll take the props. I don't know about keeping Matthews out. I think he's gonna be fine. But ultimately, they scored without him. I think the players just need to be more aggressive, whether that's Domi, whether that's anybody. But let's talk about Anthony Stolarz. A shutout, sorry. 29 for 29 saves. He stopped everything, and he had a stretch there. I think it was late in the second, maybe it was in the third, where he had a great little 2 to 3 minute stretch with a ton of clutch saves, and at that point the game was 2-0. It was closer. What did you see from Stolarz tonight? Because I obviously have been pumping his tires from the moment we got him. He looks like, quite frankly, what's up, Jose? Hope you're doing well. Quite frankly, one of the best goalies in the NHL, and the stats are backing it up, and I don't see him stopping anytime soon. He has been that good, and quite frankly, again, thank you, Blake, for the donation. He's been unbelievable. And Anthony Stolarz, yeah, spam out the emote if you're in there. He's one of the best goalies in the NHL. Quite frankly, it's a fact now.
Statistically, he is, right. He literally is. So, no, he's put together a great season. And again, in tonight's game, I mean, the Bruins did have a couple high percentage scoring chances. They did, and he shut the door. And he does it in a way, he plays very calm and his poise is pretty great too, right? Like he does it in this calm way where you're like, I don't feel panicked at all. Where, when I was watching Samsonov, for example, I could not relax at all. Every shot, I was like, this could go in. There, even Jack Campbell was like that. Anderson to a degree in the playoffs, but like this guy just seems very steady. I love his style of play. Obviously, the fact that he's 6'6" helps because
Yep.
there was a play tonight on like a half breakaway, which I thought Nick Robertson did a great job of getting back and playing that physically. But he went for a poke check and it still hit him in the shoulder. If you're a smaller goaltender, if you're 6'2", that probably doesn't happen. So a little bit lucky too, but you got to be lucky to be good and good to be lucky. So Anthony Stolarz is great so far. He's been playing fantastic.
Jose with the 20. Thank you so much, Jose. Stolarz, first star. Yeah, we'll be doing our 3 stars shortly, and it definitely might be a Anthony Stolarz one. Jose, thank you again for your continued support. What's up, Marshall? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I mean, thanks for the donation. We appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, Anthony Stolarz, I really need to get his jersey too. He's with the Reaves now, so for a little bit. How many years does he have left on his contract? Was it just a 1-year deal?
It was a 2-year deal, which is looking very good. At the time, people were like, why would you sign him to 2 years? That's crazy. Nope, it looks great. Looks fantastic right now. Very happy about that. He's going to make less than Joseph Woll next year. So that's another thing.
Yeah, 3-year deal for Joseph Woll. Thank you so much, Jose. And yeah, it was a 2-year deal. There were so many transactions going down when that one happened back in the free agency. He's a huge presence. I believe Kel Yarncroc will be on the LTIR with Connor and Yanni Hockenbach coming back this weekend. Who's out? Reaves, Timmins need to make some cap space. Who's dealt? That is definitely, I mean, there's moves imminent at this point. Now, they could happen tonight. They could happen tomorrow. My initial guess, we can kind of have predictions. I'd lean towards a Matt Benning trade and a Philip Myers put on waivers. That would be my
easiest.
That would be my prediction.
I think that's the easiest route that they can go at this point. I'm sure that they're shopping guys. Like maybe they're, taking calls on Nick Robertson, but I'm sure nothing is really,
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets moved either. He is, his ice time is going down and it's going down fast. And he had 10 minutes tonight without the Mouse Matthews lineup.
There is a stat I would like to bring up about Nick Robertson, though.
Which one is it?
And of course, you might have it. I think I sent it over, but it might be the last one. But
it is.
Yeah, if you can bring that up. He's drawn the most penalties of any Leafs player this year. I feel like he's putting in the work. So I don't think he's necessarily playing bad. And I'm a broken record at this point. I mean, you all know I'm going to defend him. I think he's a great player still. He's just not scoring. But I think he's putting in the work, and I'm sure they're taking calls on him for sure. You should do your due diligence and all that true living. But you know what? Maybe the return isn't all that great right now. So maybe they're not looking at that. But like you mentioned, Myers is probably the easiest move. Myers is the easiest move. And then trading Matt Benning. I'm sure there's a lot of teams that could just use a guy like that, like the Oilers. Like they need defense help too. And he used to be an Oiler. So maybe something like that happens. I think there's an easy way to clean this up, but I think it's got to happen by Friday or Saturday. I can't remember. I got my dates mixed up here, but I can't remember exactly. But it's got to happen this weekend because I'm pretty sure Hakanpää and Dewar are back from their conditioning stints. Yeah, this weekend. So we could see them in the lineup Saturday as well.
Also, speaking of defensemen, prayers up for Dylan Holloway because he
that was scary.
I think he's good. I think he's going to be fine. Frank
They said he was stable condition. Yeah,
prayers up to him because that puck to the neck. And then continued skating for a while, which is an interesting. Usually they go down.
Finish this shift, yeah,
and everything's good though. Hopefully, so prayers up to him. Prayers up to him in the chat. Hopefully, he's going to be well. And yeah, likes only 28. Please, hit the like button. Let's try to get to 40 likes. We're at 27 right now. Leafs always do better without Matthews. I mean, they do. The record is. I think everybody else just steps up. Does Stolarz start on Friday against Detroit and Woll starts against the Habs? My prediction is Woll starts on Friday. That would be my initial reaction. Both kind of mid teams, but it's tough.
I'm going to go with, I think, so after what happened last weekend, what I would do, and this is what I would do, I don't know what Berube is thinking, but what I would do is Stolarz Friday, because both teams are not great, and they're not playing great right now. So I would do Stolarz Friday because it's the first game, Hall of Fame game. There might be some juice in the legs. Try and get that win, like guarantee that win. And then Montreal's coming into Toronto. They're going to play hard. I mean, Nick Suzuki said it. Oh, the biggest rivals of the year. It's like you should try and make the playoffs, but and not focus on the Leafs. But they're going to try really hard playing in Toronto. And it's the second half of a back-to-back. So anything can happen. I would give Joseph Wall that game. Because I think you need to guarantee the win on the Friday. A lot of coaches and goaltenders go through this in the OHL because they play 3 games in 3 days. You always try to win the first game or the first 2 games. So that's what I would do, but we'll see what they're thinking. Maybe, there's analytics go into it too. Maybe Wool's better. I haven't looked at it, but maybe Wool's better against Detroit. Like, we don't know. A lot goes into it, right? So we'll have to wait and see till maybe Thursday.
What's up, Caleb? What's up, JM? Evening from Peru. Much solid performance. Powerplay actually clicked. Yeah, JM, can we chat about the Matthews injury? I actually shouted you out indirectly in today's video because I said there's some fans out there that were, some people out there that were saying that Matthews was injured. And I remember, I thought it was you who said it, but I couldn't remember for sure. So I didn't directly, call your name in the video. But yeah, you called it. I see some people on Twitter as well. Yeah, he's definitely dealing with an injury, and it kind of makes sense now that looking back at it, being hesitant to shoot a little bit. We think back to that now. This probably wasn't directly correlated, but on the power play when they could have won the game, and Mariners kept passing back and forth. So, yeah, it's we'll have another video on that tomorrow. More news will come out about it, so it's a big question mark. And yeah, surrounding the Stolarz thing, I'm almost the opposite of you. I want to see them beat the Montreal Canadiens desperately, really, especially after opening night. So I think Berube puts Stolarz in on Saturday. And I think Wall goes against Detroit on Friday, just so they can, in theory, there's no guarantees, but have a better shot to beat the Canadiens, especially because the rivalry there. And I hope they do that because I really don't want to lose the Montreal Canadiens again.
No, I really don't want to lose to the Canadiens again. I just don't know what they're thinking at this point in time. And, it's another thing, like, do you want Stolarz to go, what would it be, like almost 5 days without playing? That's another thing, even though it's a 1 day difference.
They don't play till Friday now. So.
They don't play till Friday, Saturday, right? So that's another thing you have to consider. Wall's been sitting a while too. So there's lots to consider, and the way the team plays, like I said, you want to guarantee a win here.
That's part of it, Eric.
Yeah, we'll see. But that too. Yeah, we got to stick it to Josh there on Habs Digest.
I wonder if the Habs won tonight. My guess would be no.
I don't think they did.
Lost in overtime. I got a point.
I will say, Jim, you did call it. I kind of chalked it up to, like, because a lot of people have been saying it, and you mentioned it last stream as well, that maybe Matthews was injured and that's why he's not shooting. And I was kind of chalking it up to different play style. I think he's really trying to impress the coach. I do. I feel like a lot of people are thinking that, oh, the system's not working. I feel like he's almost trying too hard to play Berube's system. And he hasn't been shooting because teams are covering him. He scored almost 70 goals last year. That's what I was kind of chalking it up to. But no, he's injured. He's been dealing with something. So credit to you and for calling that. And I thought when I saw it today, I was like, wow, this must have been something that just flared up. But apparently he's been dealing with it for a while, and they got to let him rest now. So hopefully he comes back and he's flying and he really kicks things off here.
Yeah, which makes some more sense. Jose saying when Matthews comes back, he'll start scoring. I think he'll start scoring. And ultimately they won. A big W. What's up, Crunchy? Yeah, I mean, it was a huge win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A massive win. Quite, again, early in the season, but again, the record hasn't really been great. We want to try to take that Atlantic Division, and winning games against divisional opponents, even if they haven't been as good as they once were in previous years, it's always nice to beat. Again, they hadn't won. What was the stat in the regular season since January 2023?
Against who, sorry?
The Bruins. The Bruins haven't beat the Bruins in a very long time.
Oh, since November. I think it's exactly 2 years to the day in the regular season. It was November 5th, I believe, 2022. Yeah, so it's been a while, even though it's only like 8 games or something like that, right? But you want to beat that team. So I also want to clear one thing up because Jim brought it up, and I did see something about this earlier, and they talked about it, I believe, on the broadcast before the game as well. It's not his wrists. Berube clarified that, confirmed that. It is not his wrists that are bothering him, and they haven't been bothering him. So I don't want to speculate anything. It's upper body. It could be anything. I don't want to throw out like maybe it's his neck, maybe it's his shoulder. I don't want to do that because it's all speculation at this point. But we know for a fact, and I feel like Berube has no reason to lie and confirm it, that it's not his wrists.
Yeah, which is a good thing because obviously you shoot with that.
That would be.
Habs lost 4-3 in overtime. Yeah, they did. So they've been struggling as of late, and we can. It's interesting, and again, as you look at the schedule ahead and a few other things to touch on here, obviously the power play again was phenomenal. Is it finally back? I'm not ready to say that yet, but I'm ready to say that they've been extremely good. Darius, do you think this is a factor of just starting to go back to the mean now? Like they have the talent and things are just going to start to work out, or do you think they changed something structurally? Again, we know the injuries have been better. They've been getting set up, but I think ultimately they're clearly focusing on it more at practice and things like that, but I think it's also luck is starting to go their way a little bit with some of the shots. Because there was a lot of goals earlier in the season on the power play that could have been well.
Yeah, to me, okay, so I think hockey is way more mental than people think, and I feel like they didn't change too much. I honestly don't. Like I don't think they did anything significant that changed anything tonight.
What's up, Paul?
Maybe a few little things. Hey, Paul. I don't think they changed anything too significant tonight. I think it's just like confidence. The first one went in and it worked because you're doing something that should work. The first one went in, second one goes in, third one goes in. And now they'll probably just like regress to the mean, I guess, where they should score at a obviously a way higher clip, but they'll probably be like average to where they should be now. And hopefully that's what happens because I've been saying it, like to not score on the power play. If they didn't tonight, this is a much different game. What if the Bruins end up scoring first, right? It would still be 0-0 heading into late second, third, right? So it was crucial that they scored that goal on the power play because the power play can win you games and they haven't been scoring. So I think they're probably going to be, I don't want to say average, like hopefully they're a little bit better than average, but I think it's going to start to get better here because the confidence is up. They're like, okay, we're scoring on the power play. Now we're feeling better. So I think that has something to do with it. I feel like they were really fighting it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Like sure they don't have a like button. Yeah, let's try to get to, we're at 30 likes. Let's try to get to 40. If you guys enjoy the daily Leafs content. And again, Morgan Rielly, just shout out to him with his goal at the 8:44 of the second period, the 84th of his career. His passed Thomas Caberlet and Brian Cape. So some very interesting notes for him there. And of course, again, there's now 3 for 7 on the men advantage since their game in Mini on Sunday, a game that they desperately should have won. Darius, I wasn't
here. This stat might be a bit old. I actually think they're 4 for 8. I could be wrong.
4 for 8.
Yeah, because I don't think this included the nice thing. But yeah, sorry.
So 4 for 8, and I wasn't there for that stream. So shout out to you. And yeah, I'll try to be there for all the other ones. Probably won't be there Saturday, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, okay. I think it's time for our 3 stars of the night, Darius. I think it's a good time.
As we get into this, somebody mentioned that Eric actually believes that Willie will finish the top scorer for the Leafs this year. He does lead the league, or he's tied for first with goals in the National Hockey League. So
back to back. Whoa, back to back. Danny, what's up, Danny? Hope you're doing well. We need to extend Stolarz. We have him for one more year after this. I'm only give him a 10-year contract. Extend Stolarz all the way. Thank you so much for that. Robert, hope you're doing well. Matthew sprained his mustache. That would be a Darius now has a mustache you could sprain as well. So
that's right.
Similar mustaches. Thank you guys both for the donations. It is much, much appreciated. Thank you, Danny and Robert.
Thanks, guys. 3 stars, shall we?
Yep. Let's start.
Do you have your 3 stars glasses? I must ask.
Do. Yep.
I think we got to do this properly, especially after a big win here.
Big win.
3 stars of glasses.
Patches. We're gonna get to patches in a minute, Jim. All right. Darius, like usual, you take the lead here. I got to think of these because there was a lot of. Okay, I got them. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to start with my 3rd star, obviously, and it's going to be Matthew Knies tonight. I really considered putting somebody else here, and I'll give an honorable mention to Morgan Rielly. Had a great game tonight, really, really good game. But it's going to be Matthew Knies in the 3rd spot for me. I thought he was playing fast, physical all night. He was winning majority of his puck battles. He took a dumb penalty in the 3rd period, but that's fine. He scores a goal. I thought he was great, so he's my 3rd star.
My 3rd star of the night is Morgan Rielly. Phenomenal game. I mean, he's been great this season, and he's been very, very good. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say. Phenomenal power play goal. Finally got the power play out of the rut, and continue to get the power play out of the rut. And gonna give it to Morgan Rielly, and it's it's a pretty honorable mention to Matthew Knies. So the opposite of you.
Well, that's fair. I think we all know who played well tonight. That's for sure. I think everyone's going to pick the same guys anyway. But my 2nd star of the night, and I think a lot of people will be confused why he's not the 1st star, but it is Anthony Stolarz, 2nd star for me tonight. Obviously, the shutout.
That's asinine behavior. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
He is my 2nd star tonight. I thought he had a fantastic game. Shutout, obviously, made some big saves on high danger scoring chances and kept the Leafs in the game to allow them to score on the power play. So big game from Anthony Stolarz, 2nd star for me.
My 2nd star is Mitch Marner. Probably had his best game as a Leaf, both offensively this season and defensively. 2 great assists, was phenomenal out there, and he's starting to come along a little bit, and he played very, very well. So Mitch Marner is my 2nd star, and I presume that Mitch Marner is your 1st star.
Mitch Marner is my 1st star. He was all over the ice tonight. He was great on the penalty kill, and the penalty kill in general was fantastic tonight. He was great on the power play. He had 2 points. He's getting it done in terms of production very quietly this year, and I've been very hard on him on the channel for a long time now, for good reason at times, but he had a fantastic game, so credit where credit is due. He is my 1st star tonight. He is getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, it got to be Anthony Stolarz. I think most people in chat agree. Darius, I'm surprised you didn't give it to him. His best game of the year, shutout against the Bruins. It's he's that guy. Now he's been very good for a very long time. Well, every game he's played this season. He's been very good for a very long time in the NHL in general. So Anthony Stolarz, Robert with the 5. Thank you so much, Robert. You guys look like Harry Potter and the Terminator. Yeah, two very different vibes. These are, I don't know if these are Harry Potter glasses, but they are definitely glasses. Thank you so much for the $5, Robert. And I mean, yeah, Stolarz gotta be.
Gotta be, yeah. It's a good first star choice for sure. They also, those have to be Harry Potter glasses. I mean, there's just no way that they aren't.
Yeah, they might be. What's up, Joshua? Hope you're doing well. Honorable mention to Pontus Holmberg for stepping up his questionable game.
That's a good point. Holmberg had a great game tonight. Nobody had a glaringly bad game, I thought.
I'm trying to think. No, I'm just kidding. Nick Robertson played fine.
He probably could have had a goal too if he shot it like a millisecond earlier. But yeah,
hockey player, we will see you in our video tomorrow. Yeah, Nick Robertson had a fine game. When he puts the hat on, Nick reminds me of the kid in Peter Pan with the umbrella. Yeah, well,
similar.
Yeah, I don't. The hat.
But it's actually
is over there.
The official Leafs Digest hat. So
the official hat of Leafs Digest, and I'm very happy Anthony Stolarz got the shutout. John Lennon glasses, yeah.
No, that's not old. Yeah, we know that we know. I would say that's close. Yeah.
Shout out again to OEL, Chris Tanev with another good game. I haven't been impressed with Nick Robertson that much, to be quite honest. So if he gets traded, it's gonna be a great video, Darius, to see a reaction if Nick Robertson gets traded here.
Could happen this week.
Shout out Stephen Lawrence as well, a phenomenal fourth liner. And again, his goal wasn't the most skillful goal, maybe not, but it was a goal, and now I'm sure he has that fourth line locked down for the rest of the season for sure.
He's never gonna leave the lineup. He's got that locked up for sure. He's a great fourth liner. We knew what he was gonna bring coming in. Like we saw him in the preseason. We're like, you got to sign this guy. I saw what he did for the Florida Panthers last year. Like it's a no-brainer. He's not going to be taken out of the lineup ever, I would think at this point. I think he's going to play close to every game. So we'll see. We'll see if he ever gets taken out, but I don't think it's very likely. He's been fantastic.
It's true, Paul. That is true. Alex Nylander, top scorer in the Marlies. Now, that is another thing. Like, they do have some guys in the Marlies who are performing well, but I don't know where the room comes because they have Connor Dewar coming up, who's going to be their fourth line guy. They have, obviously, Yanni Hakanpää, who doesn't necessarily directly affect Alex Nylander, but, of course, roster spots. You don't have unlimited roster spots, so
that's right. Yeah,
it's moves are gonna come. I wouldn't be surprised if a move happens between now and Friday before the next stream. Of course, we'll have videos covering it all, but I suspect a move is on the horizon here very, very quickly. We're also 15 likes away from 50. If you guys could hit the like button, don't be looking Bedard with those toe drags. If only he was able to sink one.
Yeah, he made that first move, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then he made the second move, and then he decided to. I don't think he's ever shot a puck harder for some reason.
Yep.
Like he literally could have just feathered it in because he was just so close and wide open. And he was like, nope, I'm ripping bar down on this. And he missed the net by like an inch. But no, he had a great game, solid game. I know he didn't score and people have been, clamoring for him to score or put up more points, but he had a good game and they won. So that's all good. It's all good for me. But I think it's interesting that both Nylanders lead both the Leafs and Marlies in points. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
And I don't think, like you said, there's a spot for Alex Nylander on the Leafs. Maybe down the road when there's injuries, right? I don't think he has to go through waivers again if they were to sign him to an NHL contract. So there could be some flexibility with that in that way later in the season, but we'll see. There's a logjam right now for spots. And while Alex Nylander can score, obviously in the AHL, because I think he's an NHL player, like he's going to rip up the AHL, no problem. But, I think he's an NHL player, but not on the Toronto Maple Leafs right now, unless there's some injuries. Like he wouldn't play in the playoffs for the Leafs. It's just the dynamic of the team and identity of each line. He wouldn't, but I could see him with the Leafs at some point this season if there's some injuries.
Yeah, and I think your Domi jersey has cursed Max Domi from getting a goal. So ever since you got it, he hasn't scored.
Should I take it down? Should I take it down? Like he might. What if he scores Friday? What if I take it down and he scores Friday? I might have to just get rid of it.
Give it to me. Stolarz is the GOAT. What's up, Rick Rashid? Yeah, he has been. And also, speaking of across the NHL, Winnipeg Jets are about to win again. So they're going to go up to a ridiculous record. The Maple Leafs were still the only team to beat the Winnipeg Jets this season. It's getting crazier and crazier. Imagine if the Leafs didn't pull that one out and the Jets came back. They would have crushed the record.
crushed the, yeah, they're at what is it, 12, 13 now?
I
13
think
1?
this will give him this will give him 12, I believe.
12.
Yeah,
So they
this will
would
give
be
him 12-1
13
now.
right now. It's crazy. Crazy. That's they're on a crazy streak. A lot of people are also saying that they're not playing the best of teams. It's still hard to win that many games in a row in the NHL. Like it's pretty impressive, but the Leafs, the only team to beat them this year.
You
We
should
held that
wear
over
it.
them.
You should wear it on Friday stream. You should wear the Domi jersey. Change
Oh
something
yeah?
up a little bit.
Okay. I'll try and do something different. See
Okay,
if
for the
if he
Nyla-
doesn't score, Friday, I'll wear it Friday and watch him score against the Habs.
Perfect. I got to keep my Nylander
Try
jersey
something.
where it is because ever since I got it, the opposite effect. He's been giving them a mustachio look. He does have a mustache. The mustachio look. I do need to get a Stolarz jersey too. Maybe I'd curse him though. I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Take it down and give it to me. Yeah, Stolarz is going to be the starter going forward. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, no, that's it. He is the starter now. It was a question mark coming into the season because we didn't know. Like, you can't just label somebody who wasn't with the organization the starter, right? Unless he's like absolutely a starter. He was a starter somewhere else. You could do that, but Stolarz wasn't. It's just the fact of the matter. But I can't remember who said it, but before the season started, somebody brought up like, how do you know, like, you have to try and sign a guy like Cam Talbot when he was really good before he becomes Cam Talbot. Could Stolarz be that guy kind of thing, right? So, because Cam Talbot played like 70 games for the Oilers. He was so good that one year. And could Anthony Stolarz be that guy? And I can't remember who said it before the season, but I was like, wow, that's such a great point. Stolarz can kind of grow into this starting position. He just needs the opportunity and he's playing with confidence, right? There's no reason that he wouldn't be the starter at this point. Play him every game if possible. Like, he's going to be the starter unless it's a back-to-back, I think, at this point. Or
Wear it
Wall
during the next
plays.
game, Jim. Wear it during the next game and see if it works.
Try it, yeah.
Austin Matthews may have hurt his shoulder in the Wild or Blues game. Yeah, it seems like it's some upper body injury of that kind. And again, we'll keep you up to date with it. If we didn't pick up Stolarz, Toronto would be screwed goalie. That's the funny thing, is that like when they signed him, it was kind of assumed that he was going to be the backup to Joseph Wall, maybe a 1A, 1B. But again, and one quick thing as well, Max Pacioretty tonight. Any thoughts on? I saw a lot of people in the chat. Phenomenal once again. I mean, how old's he? 35. 35-year-old Max Pacioretty getting 4 to 5 shots on goal. The base bar says 5. Stats here say 4. We're going to go with 5. Round it up. I mean, he is driving play, which is surprising. And he's playing very well offensively and solid defensively. His minutes are kind of slowly increasing too. 13 minutes tonight.
Well, he's playing on the second line now, right?
Yep.
He's not playing special teams as much. Like, he gets second half of the power plays there, excuse me. But no, he's been great. Like, I apologize off the top of the stream. Like, I wasn't familiar with your game. I knew you could score. I knew you could shoot, but he's pretty fast, right? Like, he can get up the ice pretty good. Playing with Nylander, he doesn't look out of place. And no, he's been great. Plays heavy. Love his physicality. Tonight, he was making things happen, I thought. So he's been pretty good. I don't know if he stays on the second line the whole year, but don't fix what isn't broken at this point in time. So
thank you, Blake.
He's been pretty good.
Yeah, I will take my props on those. Those are my 2 predictions, Stolarz and Pacioretty. And I rode with Pacioretty. He had some rough games to start the season.
That's right.
He had a couple of rough games.
And he was scratched. And they said it wasn't because of his performance, but I mean, you can make it whatever you want at that point, right? But no, he was pretty good. And playing, like you said, his time on ice has increased. Like, he was playing maybe 11, 12 minutes at some points.
I think he had a single digit, like 9:58 or something right before he got benched. Something of that nature. So I don't know. It was he's been the guy. Something like that. I'm surprised a little bit that he was actually been able to play this well. Like, I knew he was going to be good.
Yeah.
He's playing the second line, 35-year-old Mac, but like, he's not that many years. There's only a couple years removed from being a very, very good to great player. So it's interesting. And again, we got him on a PTO, so it's very intriguing. Very, very interesting.
No, Max Pacioretty has been fantastic. And again, he's not going to play all season. Like, I could see him getting scratched one of the games. Like, he might get scratched Friday. We don't know, right? Like, maybe he's going to play Saturday. We know that it's against Montreal Canadiens, so he's going to play Saturday. But
yeah, they might just ride it out. To be honest, they might just keep playing him. That being said, I think they have
great.
3 games in 5 days: Friday, Saturday, Tuesday. I believe is the schedule.
Yeah. And then beyond that, I think the schedule continues beyond that. I mean, I think they play that next Thursday. I could be wrong. And then the Saturday again. It's pretty busy. So we'll see. Ride the hot hand for now. He's playing great on the second line with Nylander and Tavares. The Pacioretty-Tavares combo has been great this year. I think they look very good together. So wouldn't break that up just yet. But we'll see what Craig Berube has in mind. Don't touch what isn't broken right now. Ride it. But I don't think Pacioretty's going to play the rest of the season. We're going to see him get scratched again, and not because of his play.
It absolutely was, Paul. It was a risky signing with the injuries. But again, before the season,
Definitely.
he said it was the best he's ever felt over the past handful of seasons. So any final thoughts before we wrap it up? It was a big win. And again, we'll be back for a stream on Friday where they take on the Detroit Red Wings. And again, video tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of news going down this week. I have a suspicious feeling surrounding the moves and everything.
Well, they got to make a move.
It's going to happen.
They quite literally have to make a move because once they come off their conditioning stint, they join the team. So there's no room for them.
Leafs Digest wallpaper schedule. Well, if you take the Leafs schedule and look at their games, we're live after every one. So technically just the Leafs schedule, Jim. Or unless we'll very rarely have any streams that we miss. But every single day there's a piece of content. And we can guarantee that there will be a video every single day for,
I thought this is interesting from Blake Sim. Just to piggyback off that for a second, if the Leafs play, we'll be live after. Just assume
one of
that.
us.
And we'll let you know if we aren't, right, ahead of time. So just assume that. And from Blake Sim, if Matthews gets in next game, which I don't think he's going to play Friday. He might not play at all this weekend. We'll see. That's kind of where it's leaning towards and what we're hearing. But if he gets in next game, who's coming out? Who would you take out of the lineup? I think that's very interesting. I have to think about this for a second because everybody played so well tonight. But
you're saying if he gets in, who do they take out?
Yeah, because somebody's got to come out for Matthews to come back in, right?
Probably. Let me have a quick. My initial thought was Pontus Holmberg, but maybe Bobby McMahon if it was for next game. So probably Bobby because Pontus had a fine game, had a penalty though.
I'm leaning towards Bobby McMahon at this point. He had a long chat with Craig Berube at the morning skate this morning, and I think it had something to do with please simplify your game, please get skating, and please get hitting, and wasn't very noticeable tonight. So I think it could be him. Very well could be him.
Jim, we can make a Leafs Digest themed phone wallpaper for you since you're a member. We could get that done.
We could do that. Yeah, we can get that going.
That'd be a cool thing for members actually.
Yeah. Each month, right?
That includes the Leafs schedule, which is also our stream schedule. So
yeah.
It's a good idea.
Might work on something.
That shouldn't take too long either. We could probably get that going for you, Jim. All right, any final thoughts before we wrap up? Again, a very important win, and it'll be a few days now until a stream. We have till Friday. Their games have been a little bit separated lately, but Wednesday, Thursday, a couple days off, but we'll have videos either way. Darius, any final thoughts? Any final thoughts in the chat before we wrap up? Again, we had a video earlier if you're interested in that. Video tomorrow, and again on Friday will be the stream, and then you'll have back-to-back streams, assuming Darius can make it Saturday, which I think he can.
I think that's the plan. Okay, that is.
So you might have another solo. Yeah. You might have another solo with Darius against the Habs, which is a devastating one to miss. But I'll do my best to get there. It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, we'll probably be there Saturday, but Friday for sure. And final thoughts. I'm gonna send it in the chat here. It is the Chief Berube. He's got the guys playing the right way, so love that from Chief.
Let's get some Chief emotes.
Let's spam some Chief Berube in here. The Chief, the policeman. But he's been great this year. I love Chief as a coach. Different mindset so far, and let's give them like 15-20 games to get things really rocking here. But there's signs, especially in tonight, that things have changed for the better, I think. So loving that.
All right, that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Paul, Jim, every single person, Blake, Sim, Shane, everybody spam the thing. Thank you guys so much. And again, we'll be back on Friday. If you guys are interested, we have a video coming out for you tomorrow. If you want more Leafs content, video earlier today. See you guys in the video tomorrow on the stream Friday and Saturday. Take it easy, stay safe, and enjoy the outro, which we're about to play right now.
Leafs Digest, your daily dose of gold. Stories of the bold where legends untold. From first puck drop to the season's fold.